This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
In November 2010, I visited my first culinary research and development R&D team. Several months earlier, I had met Jose Andres, Think Food Group's head chef and co-founder, at a talk he had given at Harvard. I went to breakfast with Andres the day after, during which he mentioned offhand that Think Food Group's success was largely due to their investment in a dedicated R&D team based at their Washington, D.C. headquarters over ham and eggs. I somehow convinced Andres to let me spend a few weeks with them. As soon as I got out of the airport, I beelined downtown to the cluster of restaurants owned by Think Food Group, a rapidly growing international restaurant group with an innovation lab. It had begun to gust and rain heavily when I emerged from the Penn Quarter subway station. Fortunately, Audible, the restaurant I had been instructed to go to, was only a few blocks away, and the ranks of mid-rise office and apartment buildings kept some of the rain from street level. Russell Burmell, then Andres' assistant, met me at the door and took me through the brightly daylit blue and white ground floor dining room filled with lunchers, happy under a ceiling mobile of gently moving butterflies. Forest of Oyamel, the sacred firs, are one of the principal wintering grounds for the monarch butterfly in Highland, Mexico. Then we descended into the basement kitchen, where the R&D chefs were working that day. The large, but nonetheless cramped, low-ceilinged, windowless room was lit by bright fluorescent light. It was filled with the noise, heat, and movement of a kitchen in the middle of a lunch rush, and the floor had become slick with water and a thin film of grease. Skirting line cooks, busboys, and pot washers, we eventually came to the farthest corner of the kitchen where the walk-in refrigerator was located. There we joined two chefs who stood looking annoyed at 5 bowls and 3 binders of recipes laid out on a battered stainless steel prep table that had been temporarily commandeered from the vegetable prep cook. As I was about to introduce myself, we heard a shouted, "Backs!" And then Burmell pulled me up against the table with the others to get out of the way of a frenzied line cook who ran past us to the walk-in, wrenched open the door, snatched up a tray of pre-braised pork, and ran with it back to his station before the door had swung fully shut. Burmell said, "Welcome to the Think Food Tank." My first impression of the Think Food Tank, when I saw it in Oilmel's basement, was of a haphazard, ramshackle operation. As an organizational researcher, I did not expect to rapidly discover an innovation team both more creative and more effective than the product innovation teams I had been part of at Google, much less one organized in ways that violate many conventional innovation management principles. But once I saw past these superficials, I realized that it was a team of rare quality, fast-moving, adaptable, intensely curious, self-organizing, and highly effective. It just happened to be organized in ways that were not only unexpected, but in fact ran counter to what I expected from having worked in a supposedly highly innovative technology firm and from being immersed in conventional innovation management theory.